forefront of digital transformation in the M&E industry. Subhashis Sen is the Cloud Solutions Director for APAC at Oracle, where he leads OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Solutions for media and digital native customers across the region. With over 23 years of experience in driving innovation, Subhashish has played a key role in shaping cloud strategies and providing thought leadership to enterprises and startups alike. In his current role, he focuses on cloud solution strategies, offering advisory to CXOs, and supporting the growth of digital native and startup ecosystems with Oracle Cloud. Before joining Oracle, he held key positions at Fujitsu, Dell, Huawei, EDS, and Microsoft, ranging from heading hybrid cloud services to leading data center transformations. Please join me in welcoming Subhashis Sen to the stage.
So I work for Oracle as a OCI Solutions Director for JAPAC. So my business unit is Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and it's a global hyperscaler platform. And today I'm going to talk about media workloads powered by Oracle Cloud. Oracle Safe Harbor statement. Now, before even I talk about workload, let us acknowledge there has been some change which has happened, after 2020 during the COVID, and that change has driven streaming video, streaming media across multiple devices, consumption tenfold. Now, what that has done is also given rise to competition. And on the top of that, in the last 2 years, there has been a huge democratization of AI and Gen AI. And the different media players, streaming players, media platforms, they're looking at, a hyper-personalized experience using Gen AI, generating content in Gen AI. Now, with all of this growth, all of this innovation in AI happening, cloud is obviously an answer, right? But just a great cloud, which has, which tick marks all the tech stacks, it has everything, infra, data, AI, is not good enough. What we need is a symbiotic cloud ecosystem. By that, what I mean is a cloud where you can run any workload, any off-the-shelf application, open source workloads, anything. And also a cloud which works well with other clouds. Because today customers are taking a multi-cloud approach, cloud providers have region in different continents, and depending on the workload, customers are choosing a cloud provider. And also a cloud which can logically extend to your data center. And that's what we are trying to build, and we have built as Oracle. So this is the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. You can look at it as a single subscription. You have access to all the services. The three pillars are infra, data, and AI. And then across that, there are 7 domains. So you can look at it as you can host your application on a compute or on a container. It may be a media streaming application. Or if you're using one of those powerful media servers, you use in data centers, we also have bare metal servers we're providing on cloud. And you can add, then you will have a lot of data flowing in that, and you can add a lot of machine learning driven intelligence to our data platforms, open source data platforms like MySQL, Postgres, and even Oracle database. And on the top of that, AI services is something you can add on your content, right? If you have videos, you can identify maybe characters in the videos, you can identify more information from the videos, and all of those AI services are available, and also from the speech. And on the top, you will see applications. On the applications layer, we have business process automation, also digital media service, which has got to do with a lot of video transcoding, media packaging, CD and origination. And we have 49 regions around the world. So you can look at it as your hotbed for innovation, right? So you can host an application, say in Mumbai and or in Hyderabad, but then you can scale the application using Oracle Cloud to other regions using Oracle's backbone. And it's very easy using Oracle Cloud, and also the egress cost when you are moving traffic across region, you must be concerned about egress, is extremely competitive. And as I said, we wanted to build an ecosystem, not just a cloud, so we work well with others. So we have interconnect with Google and Microsoft as well, so that a customer who's in Google can take advantage of Oracle Cloud. A customer who's in Microsoft can take advantage of Oracle Cloud. So all of these things are there, and we are growing. We are going to add 10 more regions. Right now we are at 49 regions around the world. Now OCI, many of you may not be using, but then many of you may have heard about it. We came into the market in 2019. We are the youngest hyperscaler. Oracle as a company may be 4 decades old. As a hyperscaler, we are the youngest, but we are growing at the rate of 60% every year. And we have major customers already adopting OCI, like Uber is our major customer. And 60% of these customers you see here has nothing Oracle about it. They're all open source workloads. On the media side, we are the cloud partner for Redbull Racing. You must have seen that Redbull Racing video. We are the cloud partner for English Premier League. And also in India, there are media streaming platforms like DocuBay by Intent Media and also Qantas Tech, who you must have seen the booth. They're doing a lot of innovation with media streaming on OCI. And of course, we have the global players like Kaltura, who are gaining global scale with Oracle Cloud regions. Now, what is the advantage in OCI for media workloads? A, we provide a low latency infrastructure for geoscale streaming. B, there are price performance benefits so that it's predictable. When you are streaming across regions, you need predictability of price, you need predictability of performance. Otherwise, you might want to host them in your data center as well. And then augment our data and AI capability in your application to deliver new capabilities to your audiences, to capture new insights of your audiences. So these are the 3 things we are doing. So we are not just a cloud platform, but an innovation ecosystem. Why am I saying that? Because there are a lot of independent software vendors. Oracle engineering alone cannot build everything what you need. We are also open, and there are a lot of startups in India and around Asia Pacific who are building their products, innovating with Oracle Cloud. And when our customer comes and says, I have a problem I want to solve, so for example, I want to upscale some of my old videos to a new, to 4K. So we have an independent software vendor who has built a solution in Oracle Cloud whom we can plug in. So that's the ecosystem. Now let's talk about Generation 2 infrastructure. As I said, we came in 2019. A couple of people in 2015 were sitting in a meeting room and said, if we want to launch a cloud, we were already in SaaS business. Our ERP, HCM, supply chain management, many of you organizations must be using. That's running on the same infrastructure. Now, we cannot have a cloud which is just like others. So we had some very capable engineers who sat and said, okay, there are some fundamental problems in public cloud. We want to address them. So when we launched in 2009, we launched something called a Gen 2 infrastructure. So I'm going to talk about how it can provide a low latency and price performance benefit. So why would you care about a Gen 2 infrastructure as long as you have virtual machines, bare metal as you need? It's because you get most out of the compute resources. There is no overhead. You get 100% of your compute resource power in a Gen 2 infrastructure. You can optimize performance of video and workloads. You can select exactly whatever CPU you want or memory. Many of you who have worked on cloud would have worked on t-shirt sizes with some names. In our case, you just have to select Intel, AMD or ARM and select how many CPUs you want, how much memory you want, and tomorrow you want more. It's just a drag of a needle, you do that. So you can optimize your performance of video and audio. And glitch-free linear scaling due to our performance SLAs, right? We are protecting you with SLAs on performance as well, not just availability. So under the hoods, this is the technology which is working. A non-blocking network. We don't oversubscribe our networks, right? You don't have to tell Oracle that I'm going to get a peak every week, every month. No. Whatever bandwidth is allocated to a particular CPU, you get that, whether you use it or not. Right? So, which makes the performance really consistent when you are, streaming and scaling up servers around the world. Off-box virtualization. As I said, you get maximum out of the hardware from the CPUs. It's because our virtual network, there is no overhead. It's not sitting on the hypervisor. We have special network cards, and that's where we have more control on the network. So it's at the hardware there, network virtualization. So that's where we can say that we can provide performance SLAs. And also we have power of dedicated bare metals and GPUs. Right? In some of the previous slides, you have seen some of the big AI companies like OpenAI, Grok LLM. They have chosen Oracle AI infrastructure. It's because of the power of this dedicated bare metals and GPUs. And we have the lowest network latency due to our RDMA technology, cluster network. And it has been documented by industry benchmarking. And we have provided the highest throughput among all the cloud providers. Now, this is what I was talking about, predictability. Right? So all of you, when you are provisioning a VM, deploying an application on a VM, you have complete control of your infrastructure. As I said, in the drag of a needle, you can increase or decrease the number of CPUs in a VM. You don't have to commit that I will, use a particular shape with 8 CPUs when you need 6. You can exactly configure 6. Adaptive block storage. You can change performance level of your block volume on the fly. You can change the shape of your block volume on the fly. And also the same thing in flexible notebook load balancing, highest bandwidth and lowest bandwidth you define, and the load balancer takes care of routing the traffic based on your bandwidth definition. So that's the kind of flexibility we are providing, and we also have a concept called autonomous in Oracle. We are trying to make our services more and more autonomous. For example, our data platforms rely on autonomous technology. That means if performance tunes itself, it applies security patches itself, it basically recovers by itself, so that your platform management effort is zero. If you're running a bunch of Linux operating system on Oracle, it runs on autonomous. That is, it gets automatically patched without any downtime. So we are trying to take away the operational efforts from our customers so that they can seamlessly do their innovation. That's the idea. And as I said, we simply provide the best cloud SLAs. As I've said, because of our architecture, you don't have to get into commitments with Oracle that, okay, I'm going to commit, I need resources dedicated to for 1 year. You don't have to do that, because as it is on demand, you get the performance levels which we are assuring. As it is, you are going to get that 1 Gbps bandwidth, you are going to get the full core of a processor, all of that, as it is. You don't have to tell us, because of the way we have compartmented our tenants, the way we allocate bandwidth, the way we control our network, we can assure you the performance. And some of our customers, like Zoom, they experienced it. When during pandemic, Zoom moved a lot of workloads to OCI. Within 2 days, they expanded to 300K users, and the system was working just fine and consistent usage. Redbull Racing is another good example. And I know a lot of media data needs to be secure because it's a lot of your IP, right? There are a lot of new content which inadvertently, which gets released, it can damage the business. So that's where we have made sure in our architecture the security is at its core. We take more responsibility. Security is in a public cloud environment is a joint responsibility. So we take more advantage of, we take more responsibility of security. DDoS protection, encryption, you cannot turn off encryption in OCI. DDoS protection is always there. And then for customers to take care of their responsibility, like suppose you got a media platform or media streaming platform you're running and there are some anomalous activity, you can turn on something called Cloud Guard or vulnerability scanning, which is going to block any of those bad actors. So that's the beauty of it, and a lot of these services are free of cost, right? Because we don't want customers, we come from an enterprise background. In the same cloud infrastructure, we had run our ERPs and SaaS. So we are pedantic about security, absolutely. So we don't want customers to compromise security because of cost, ideally. So that's where most of our security tool set, other than the core security, is free of cost. And of course, we have high availability architectures like fault domains, so that you can distribute your resources across fault domains, autonomous services I talked about, and also you can configure easily in a few clicks full stack disaster recovery. Now coming to economics, so it's a big factor when you're hosting on cloud. I know a lot of streaming players are experiencing sudden surprises in cloud builds. We keep to this, with Oracle you don't have surprises because it's very predictable. In general, our pricing is lower than the other major hyperscalers. Our egress pricing is ideal. A lot of streaming players says that, hey, this is very competitive because we offer around 10 TB egress, totally free of cost. There is no additional charge for 80% of the security services, as I mentioned. We have globally uniform pricing. Whether you hosting, you are doing business in India, you want to expand to UAE, Saudi, if you are using those regions, the pricing is the same. So no bill shocks. Things like cloud network, virtual cloud networks, things like gateways, these actually add on to your cloud bill. And when you grow, this also adds on to the surprises. These kind of things are free of cost on OCI. So we kind of flatten the growth stats. If you're growing at a 20%, your bill is not going to grow that much. So that's the idea. So, and also the other important point is enterprise support is included in the cloud subscription. We don't charge anything additional for enterprise support. So that's another thing which keeps you at peace. Now let us look at who are the customers and some of their use cases. So let me talk about Phoenix. Phoenix is an online entertainment platform. It provides sports experience. It streams programs like Oscars. They provide synchronous videos across multiple regions using Oracle Cloud regions with 500 milliseconds of end-to-end latency. And for broadcasting their, some of their programs, for streaming some of their programs, they reduce their processor cost by 40%. Another good example is RealSprint. RealSprint is an European streaming platform. They delivered their 4K 10-bit HDR live streaming solution on OCI. And what they did was, they actually didn't stick to their original configuration Intel. They played with AMD and ARM, right? And they also took advantage of the flexible shapes we have, so that they could configure the optimal configuration. So they found for encoding A1 is a good shape, so they use it for encoding A1, and also for their core streaming application E4 flex shapes. So these flex shapes kind of give them flexibility to build a configuration with what exactly they need. And when they expand, they can actually drag a needle and they can expand. And we also have customers, as I mentioned, like Qantas Tech. You have a big booth for them here, and also Inten Media. They have a DocuBay platform, various other media streaming customers in India. You saw the Redbull video, right? So we are the official cloud partners for Redbull Racing. Wherever you see Redbull Racing, you will see Oracle. And Redbull Racing doesn't use Oracle database. They use high performance compute machines on Oracle Cloud, and they run their machine learning on OCI data science to do simulation of the race scenarios, first use case. Second use case, streaming of fan content using the OCI regions to the fans, capturing the fan sentiments, delivering personalized recommendations to fans. So end-to-end, Oracle is taking care of that. The second one is English Premier League. It's again a very interesting use case. English Premier League, you will, if you watch, you will see Match Insights powered by Oracle Cloud. Right? So they use Oracle Analytics and data warehouse platforms to give match insights which the audience would write, that what's the probability of someone to score a goal, etc. And also the 30 years of footage, around 5 petabytes of data, 3 petabytes of data, they are syndicating through Oracle Cloud to their partners, and they, in turn, the partners are broadcasting it to 797 households. And they are also archiving that content very easily using our automated tier archiving policies. And not only sports broadcast and streaming platform, there are a lot of animation studios who are using it for video rendering workload, graphics editing. I mean, I have myself tested a particular workload with a customer. It's called color grading. It's a color grading workload. Usually people think the grading artist would think I need to do it on premises, but we have proven that the grading artist, we didn't tell that it's running on cloud. It's not, that box is not behind you. We didn't tell him. And he tried the color grading using the panels, Da Vinci panels, and didn't feel a latency. So that's the power of that RDMA low latency network I'm talking about. Of course, we had other partners like Parsec as a client, etc. And similarly, there are other studios like Snowball Studios. We have Dexter Studios in Korea who had rendered an Oscar-winning movie on OCI. So now let's talk about, I talked about a lot about infrastructure. Now let's talk about data and AI, how we can drive machine learning driven insights and how we can monetize your data. As Oracle, data is part of our DNA. Everyone knows it. For 40 years, what we have been doing is data. Right? So we are masters in acquiring data, that is getting data from multiple data sources, putting it in a data platform and manage it, and also apply machine learning. And it can be consumed by your applications, it can be consumed by analytics. So we have been masters in that. So taking all those best practices and knowledge, in Oracle Cloud, what we have done is machine learning integrated data platforms, be it Oracle database, be it MySQL HeatWave. So we have machine learning integrated. Recently we announced in database training of LLMs in MySQL HeatWave. AI vector search features through which you might have a lot of content in your object storage, a lot of unstructured data. You create vectors in the database and those things can be easily searched, right? The content search. So we have integrated a lot of powerful AI capability. On the top of that, we also have our AI and Gen AI services. And our AI and Gen AI services has been tested first on our own ERP applications, Cerner's healthcare applications. First, we have done that testing before we gave it out to customers. So there are multiple use cases we can address on data. One is subscriber acquisition, customer sentiment analytics, analytics of performance of your content, even your platform performance, correlation of different logs which are coming out of your platform through machine learning. And also app monetization, your whole app monetization cycle. This kind of analytics you can do. And also in the AI use cases, these are the use cases we are seeing: video analytics, detecting object in the videos, ads in the videos, language and speech AI, especially in Indian context, where there is a lot of content in multiple different language. When someone is speaking in a particular Indian language in a video, live converted to another language. So these kind of use cases are what we are seeing. And on the Gen AI side, stable diffusion, we recently demonstrated creation of content using stable diffusion together with NVIDIA in game development conference in San Francisco. And Gen AI agents, our Gen AI agents can be used for a lot of customer service use cases, and also content search and metadata tagging using our AI algorithms. Now, how do you manage all of this data? So we have the different tool sets. The idea is whether your data is in your CMS or digital asset management or your device data, different tool sets, right? A lot of these are serverless tool sets, right? You don't have to run servers to ingest that in object storage or in data warehouse. So we have multiple forms of data warehouse. It can be autonomous data warehouse, which is Oracle. As I said, it's a self-performance tuning and self-patching and self-recovering data platform. So database administration effort is zero. MySQL autopilot. So you can put it in that. And in fact, in MySQL HeatWave, you can query data which is in object storage out of that MySQL HeatWave. And then the data can be consumed by our analytics cloud, and it can be also consumed for data science. So what about the end user? So for the end user, we have analytics cloud, which has easy visualization, and we have Gen AI capabilities and NLP. You can actually talk to your data, and you can get responses. There are insights which the business analyst cannot see. Our Gen AI, which is built in our analytics, is going to provide you those insights. Now, these are our AI services. So we have OCI Generative AI at the top, are our AI services. These are available to customers. You can plug them in your application. You can use them standalone, whatever you want to do. OCI Generative AI services, it's based out of, it uses Cohere and Llama 3 primarily. You can consume it as a service, token based, or you can deploy it in dedicated clusters. We have speech, language, and vision for video use cases like video analytics, speech to text, language translation, dubsub, those kind of use cases. And then also, as I said, we have machine learning inbuilt in our databases. And we have the most powerful AI infrastructure in the planet, which can scale up to thousands of cluster nodes and with the lowest network latency. As I said, GPT-5 has signed up for training their models on OCI AI infrastructure. Grok LLM is one of them, and there are different AI startups we are working with. Now, let us give you some customer examples. So Suno.ai is one of our customers. They generate new music through prompt using OCI AI infrastructure. Intermedia, they can generate summary of their every customer record using our generative AI service. Mutua Madrid Open is a tennis tournament using a bot, our generative AI agent. They can provide fan information. The entire tournament fan experience is delivered by that Gen AI agent. Genius Sonority, it's a very good case. You might relate to it. It's a gaming company. They are known for the Pokemon logo. So what they were experiencing is when the players are playing the game, they take the data out of their database and take it for analytics in their previous cloud provider. And there is a delay, so they're not getting real-time insights. So by using MySQL HeatWave on a running OLTP database, they can run OLAP queries and get real-time views of the player behavior and platform behavior. Spotify, if you're playing an ad, if you're listening to Spotify, those ads pops up, and if you click on that, all of that data is captured by Oracle Moat Analytics and sent to Spotify. It captures how much time a particular customer is spending on an ad. Sky TV is using us for customer data analytics. SailGP, another big major sporting league using OCI. There are IoT data coming out of hundreds of catamarans who are participating there, gets into a central dashboard, and they can offer it as insights to fan as well as the participating teams. And I talked about Redbull racing. Now we can't do this alone, right? So there needs to be, when we are talking about end-to-end media solution, we have our partner ecosystem. That's why I said it's an ecosystem. So these are our network partners, the usual suspects, Airtel, Datacom, etc. And then some of the major video platforms like Altura, Harman, Ant Media, they are all on OCI Marketplace. You can consume them. So they are tested, and some of them are running on OCI. Then a very important one is our Oracle startup ecosystem. Some really creative solutions which they have developed on OCI and which we take to our customer. For example, VR Glass runs virtual reality events. If you are running an event, They provide the entire VR environment for that. TensorGo, immense amount of skills with regional Indian languages. On the fly, translating Hindi, Hindi content to Telugu content or Kannada content. In the same way, a lot of other startups were innovating with OCI. So that brings me to the end. Do visit our booth. You can see, the English Premier League use case live. It is there in our booth. Our team is there to show you that. The English Premier League match insights. So to summarize, OCI Gen 2, our goal is to make you future ready through our product updates, through our ecosystem. Provide you a predictable performance when you're streaming and with assured SLAs, achieve cost savings with our flexible infrastructure. Applications that require high data egress can see significant cost savings. We are just a call away. We are ready to help on that. Embed, and our analytics can be embedded in your application. The analytical dashboard, ML capabilities you can embed in your application. And access to most powerful AI infrastructure for LLM training. And if you are an independent software vendor or a media platform provider, we have 200,000 customers. And you are visible to that 200,000 customers if you are in Oracle Cloud Marketplace. So that's the end of my session. Thanks a lot for patiently listening. Hopefully either I woke you up or you've gone to sleep. Thank you so much.